Hey everyone, so today I have Kathy here with me. I'm super excited to interview her. She has amazing stats that I want to actually go ahead and share with you. She has lost a total of 33 pounds. She's lost about 5% body fat and over 15 inches across her body. Now, it's not just about the numbers. It's not about fat loss or weight loss. It's about the life that you gain, and so that is some of the questions that I'm going to be asking her today. So, Kathy, she has a full time job and she has a photography business. So, needless to say, she is super busy, but she makes time to what's important to her. So, I have a few questions to ask her. How are you doing today, Kathy?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful, Heidi. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. I'm excited to hear from you. So, I wanted to start from, like 6 months ago. Like, where were you? How were you feeling? And like, why did you decide to start your fitness journey?
Well, as far as how I felt sluggish. Um, my life wasn't in any kind of control. I just kind of gave up on myself a little. I had decided that I was going to go ahead and just stay the weight that I was and just live my life that way. And I was unhappy because I making that decision also meant that I was accepting the pain that I was going through as far as carrying so much weight on my body. And I'm only 5'4", and I was carrying over 200 pounds. And that was just too much for my body. I noticed that my breathing had gotten worse. When I went for a physical, the stats weren't good. Trying to walk on my knee would swell up, and it was horrible. And it wasn't as if I had this sudden I made this sudden decision, I'm going to lose weight today. It just kind of came because normally I would wait. I would sit there and think I was going to have a moment that was just going to, Kathy, you're going to lose weight, and it's going to come knocking on your door. And that's not what happened. It was a very quiet voice that said it's time. And a friend of mine told me about you, Heidi, and what you do. And before I could stop myself, or before I could talk myself out of it, I signed up. And I'm not saying that it was easy, at the beginning, but it was something that was important that needed to be done. So yeah, I had to do it. There was no choice.
Okay, thank you for sharing. And so, what were some things that maybe you tried before that maybe they weren't working before you joined a
Oh,
group?
well, I tried, and I'm not saying that it's a bad program. It just wasn't a program that was for me. So I've tried Weight Watchers. I've tried this liquid diet. I've tried just not eating, thinking that that was going to be the key. And all of them I failed. And not only because of that, but because of my mindset. My mind was not there.
Mhm.
So when I didn't eat, I got angry and I would eat. So I was sabotaging myself. When I did the liquid diet and realized I was hungry, you know,
Yeah.
and then I would go and eat, and then I would blame myself. So,
Mhm.
and with Weight Watchers, it was like I said, it's a good program. It just wasn't for me.
Mhm.
So it seemed like everything that I was trying was um, I was too hard on myself.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I decided with, and especially with talking to you, and you saying, hey, it's not about just not eating, it's about nutrition, and
Mhm.
stop beating yourself up. And I had decided at that point, you know what? No more,
Mhm.
no more. Um, I spent years hating myself. I want to like myself. So if liking myself says, okay, Kathy, you're not 100% perfect, but if you do something that's not what you want, get back up there and do it, and get back on track.
Mhm.
So that's what I decided to do. And it has been wonderful,
Awesome. Awesome.
wonderful.
Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing. So now that's Kathy of the past. So a lot has changed in 6 months and it's amazing. And I've watched you, blossom. And so This is something that a lot of women struggle with because that's what we are taught by the media and what's out there, that starving yourself is going to make you lose weight, and it actually does the opposite. And
Right,
so that's one of the things that I pride a group, into is that we don't do diets. That you
right,
eat from, most foods, you eat from all the foods, you eat from all your macronutrients. So you're still eating carbs, you're still eating your proteins, you're eating all, good foods that are good for you. So basically, you're not dieting, you're eating good food, and yet you have lost 33 pounds.
right.
So, what are some of the mindsets that have changed, like the Kathy right now? Like, what are some of the things that have really helped you from our program?
Well, one of the things is the affirmations. I'm I say positive things to myself now. I'm not saying that I'm perfect with it, because I've been on this planet for 57 years and I spent most of that time telling myself negative things. So I know it's going to come in time, but it's coming. And I see that it's coming. So I've changed my mindset. I've I've forced myself to do things, to exercise, and found out that I kind of like it, and it kind of gets into your veins and keeps you going. Um, I stopped saying diet. That's for one thing, because what I've discovered using the word diet is temporary, okay, and the journey that I'm on is permanent. So I'm not diet is no longer in my vocabulary.
Awesome.
Um, I've I've regimented myself as far as my exercising. I exercise every day, and I'm not saying I'm doing weights every day and stuff. I mean, I could just be walking or
You're
something.
active, right? Like you're always
Active.
active. Yes,
I'm
that's
active,
awesome.
always active. Yeah, and Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm no matter what, unless it's something that I absolutely
Hmm.
can't avoid. I'm working out with you and the group. And that's an inspiration too, to see other women and to be in a group with women who are going through the same thing that I'm going through and not being judged by it.
Hmm.
So that's it's my mindset is just it's just completely changed. And if I make a mistake, and another thing, I'm sorry, but I'm honest with myself now. So one of the things that you got me started doing, because you're a little bulldog, when you is the calorie counting. I did not want to do that.
Oh,
Not
my fitness pal.
right, right. I
Okay.
did not want to do that. I did not. And you kept on me, and you would not let me make any kind of excuse. And now I do it every day.
Awesome.
And because
Awesome.
of that, I look at all the calories that I eat. If I see something that I really want and I look at the calories, I'm like, oh no, I'm not having that. So what the things that I'm saying now, I never would have said before. I never would have done any of this before. So my mind has changed from feeling sorry for myself and kicking myself to, you know what? I deserve to be healthy and happy. And I like myself. And I'm just going to keep going in that direction because it makes me feel good.
Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. So, just to clarify to those who may not know what you're talking about, what Kathy means is that it's an app that's called My Fitness Pal. You're more than welcome to check. My Fitness Pal is an app where you can track your food. So, basically, it helps you to stay accountable to the things that you're eating. And so, each one of my clients, stay according to their height, weight, age, and everything. It's personalized. So, I give them, calorie deficit. They still eat from like all kinds of food, but of course it's science. So if you're looking to lose weight, calorie deficit. If you're looking to put on muscle, calorie surplus. So they kind of have an amount of calories to consume throughout the day, and you're still eating from all your foods. So that's what Kathy means to those, maybe people who don't know about that. So thank you for sharing that. Give me a few examples of foods that you eat that some people may say, "Ooh, you shouldn't eat that." Like some foods they eat, for example.
Well, the first one, for example, meatballs. You know, we had discussed my nutrition, and I have very very simple tastes when it comes to that, but I do not like to cook. I absolutely hate cooking, And you came up with a plan for me. You said, hey, well, why don't you try these meatballs, either turkey or chicken? And so that's one thing that I thought. And these meatballs are huge. You get four, and it's I think it's like 120 calories, something like that, roughly. And they're big, and they're a meal. And then the tomato paste or tomato sauce. I've never been a big tomato sauce person, but I like it.
Awesome.
So um, you can have potatoes. You can have, and the things that are on the list that I actually do like, such as like broccoli and cauliflower, and like the cucumbers and the tomatoes, and you can have omelets and all these things that I never thought would be on a nutritional journey, where I would lose weight. And I've lost it just kind of came off. It came off. So
Yeah,
it's
even
just so much
even
food.
the potatoes and rice, like it's all
The
okay to
rice.
have as long as you're staying within, your calorie bracket.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
one thing that I wanted to mention, one more thing that women really struggle with, and and like when first you start a journey, a lot of times you lose 5-10 pounds, and then you hit a wall, most known as a plateau, and that's when a lot of people give up. And so what I really love about you is how consistent you are. So I wanted to mention that in case you don't mention, Kathy has been very consistent. So one of the keys to her success is that, number one, she's very coachable. So she received her meal plan, she follows it, she eats from all kinds of food groups. She stays active, but most importantly is that she stays consistent. No matter what happens, she's showing up, she's staying active, she's showing up to her workouts. And so I mentioned that at some point a plateau may happen. That's very natural, in everyone's fitness journey. And so she hit a plateau, and the scale wasn't moving. And so we had a talk, and I told her, I said, number one, you should not be looking only at the number on the scale as your progress. You want to look at everything else. You want to look at your energy, how you feel, how you're performing your exercises. So in regards to the plateau, to being, what it looks like to most people, stuck, what were some of the things that maybe that you've learned with our boot camp and the coaching, like that have helped you like get through that plateau, keep moving, continue to progress? What are some of the things that helped you getting out of that plateau?
Well, one, of course, was talking to you about it and you giving me ideas. Two was realizing, yeah, that that may happen. I was going to hit a plateau. I had a feeling it was going to happen, so I was kind of prepared for it. Two, three, I kept my mind right. So when it actually happened, I wasn't upset. I just accepted it as part of my journey, and that I was going to get past it, because this is just a moment in time right now, and I was going to get through it. And just staying consistent with my exercise, and and like you said, you're absolutely right about it's not just what's on the scale. It's um it's the inches. It's looking at your clothes. It's how they're fitting, because I may be losing weight in certain areas that I can't see it. So I just made myself stay positive. And when those negative thoughts started to come into my head, I'm like, no, that's not happening. I've come too far
Awesome.
to let this set me back.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah,
Thank you
I
for
think.
sharing. And
Mhm.
Kathy, another thing that you do too that I really love is that no matter what, you always come to all coaching sessions. You have your one-on-one sessions that you come to, and then you have the group sessions you always come to. So I believe that has been a key factor, is not just how consistent you are, but also it's the accountability factor of
Right.
you keep showing up. And so, and that's why you're getting these results. Another thing that I love about you is that, as you mentioned here, you've been in this earth for 57 years. You're 57 years old. You look amazing, by the way. Let me just say that. And you don't use that as an excuse. And I'm not saying that everybody does that, but I'm 40 myself, and there are women who are younger than me. I don't know, 35, whatever the case may be. That age should not be an excuse as to why we should not be taking care of ourselves. And I see that a lot out there with women. Oh, I'm older, or oh, I had kids, or oh, I'm busy. That I hear all the time. And here you are with, a full-time job plus a photography business. You have a lot going on. It's about making the time for the things that are important to you, and your health is very, very important. So
Yes.
I'm extremely proud of you. This is why I'm interviewing you. Like, I want people to learn a little bit more about the mindset behind it. 33 pounds gone, 5% body fat, which is a lot. Like, in case people don't know, 5% is a huge deal. 15 inches gone, no diets, no starvation, just consistency and mindset. And then one more thing I want to ask you. Um, Someone who may be watching you and saying, man, well, there's what's special, what do you, how what would you say to those people who maybe have tried everything and they're like they have lost hope? What would you tell to that woman?
I would say it's, well, one is probably that the journey that you were on was not the right journey for you. Um, you need to change your mindset on what it is that the path that you want to take. You need to give yourself grace. Okay. You do not beat yourself up. Don't do it. If you gain a little weight, that's okay, because you're going to lose it. Just stay positive. The affirmations, like yourself, decide that you're going to like yourself. I think that's one of the key things, is that a lot of women don't like themselves. They make one mistake and decide that their entire life is over. And that is not true, especially on this weight journey. That is so not true, because I used to be that person. I did that all the time. Now I have decided, and I think that's one of the things too, you have to decide what it is that you want. If you want to lose this weight, decide to do it and stick with the journey. And it's not easy. It is not easy, because even this morning, I did not want to get up. I was feeling good in my bed, and but you know what? I had to, because I'm doing this for me.
Mhm.
So, ladies, don't let anybody tell you you can't do it, because you can. It may be slow. You may lose it a little faster than some, but you can do it. You can do it. You can be the person, you can look like the person that you want to look like. So, and it's not just about being skinny and stuff, it's about being healthy. So just change your mindset. Affirmations. Look in the mirror every day and say, I love you. You're worth it. You can do this. You're powerful, and don't let anybody else tell you different.
Awesome. Ooh, I love it so much. Amen. Love it. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for your time. I know you have a lot going on, so I really appreciate your time, going through this interview. So thank you so much. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you for being there for me.
Of course, you're very welcome. Okay.